Hello, this is a past paper, paper 1. So this is on theme 1. I think this is 2021. So this is basically 90 marks paper and it's 1.5 hours. And you're supposed to use black pen. You can use the calculators, but there are no formula. You have to remember the formula. Right, so it normally starts with a multiple choice question. Section A, multiple choice, you have to put a cross in the box. And if you have to change it, you can cut it and you can put a cross in the new box. So don't put tick or anything else, just put the cross. So this is which one of the following is a long-term source of finance. So long-term is basically more than 12 months. So this is venture capital. These are short-term and revenue is also short-term. Which one of the following could be used to identify customer needs? It's basically market research. One drawback, so read the question carefully, and it's asking for just one. To a business of having low levels of cash. So either you can follow this route or this route. So basically for a 3 marker, we need BLT, 3 to 4 connected sentences or chain of logical reasonings. So if there are low levels of cash, the business will not be able to pay the suppliers because cash is used to pay the suppliers or to pay the employees. It might damage the relationship with the suppliers. Business may not have sufficient raw materials, so they might be unable to fulfill customers' orders on time, which might damage their reputation. You can add that as well to complete the answer. Another one, or you could say unable to pay their employees. Employees might leave to work elsewhere, increased labor turnover, and they had to spend time and money to hire and train new employees. Then you have again a 3 marker. One way an entrepreneur can reduce the risk of failure when starting a new business. So it's not asking for risk, it's asking how it can reduce. So they can reduce by carrying out the market research. It allows to understand customer needs, so that entrepreneur can develop a product that customers are likely to buy, increase chances of recovering their startup costs, and break even. So give 3 to 4 connected interlinked sentences. Again, it's a multiple choice. This time they're asking for 2 of the following can be interpreted from break-even diagram. So this is margin of safety and profit. Which 2 of the following? Be mindful if they're asking for 2. It's easy 2 marks. Don't just put cross on 1. Types of technology that could be used by a business. So here it's digital communication and payment systems. This is complete the table with missing figures. So it's asking for closing balance. Closing balance is basically net cash flow plus opening balance. So you just add these 2. That's your closing balance. So if you apply the same formula, so you just subtract 5,000 from 9,300, you get 4,300 to get this value. Okay. Again, a 3 marker, explain one reason why an entrepreneur may adapt an existing product to come up with a new business idea, because it already understands the market, and as market research may already been carried out for the previous product, it gives better understanding of customer needs, less time to launch the new business idea. One disadvantage, and it's asking for a disadvantage of using a focus group to collect market research. Focus groups are normally expensive to arrange. Business may have to pay people to participate, increased cost for the business, forced to increase the selling price to cover the costs. Business might lose the competitive advantage. Again, a multiple choice, which one of the following is a disadvantage of starting a partnership? Decisions affect all partners. So it's asking for a disadvantage. Look, what's the disadvantage and mark that one. So be careful in answering the multiple choice and numerical, because they are easy scorers. They could be easy scorers. Using the information, calculate up to 2 decimal places. If they're asking for 2 decimal places, be mindful that you write your answer to 2 decimal places. Otherwise, you lose 1 mark. The percentage decrease in sales from January to March. So always percentage change is new figure minus old divided by old. You put in the values, you get the answer. It's in minus because it's decreasing. One disadvantage to a small business of an increase in interest rates Cost of borrowing will go up because interest rate is cost of borrowings and rewards for saving. Business has to pay more than it has borrowed. Increased costs will make it difficult to expand. One disadvantage to a small business of manufacturing high quality product, you see, this is writing advantage is easier, but the question is disadvantage. High quality products may be more expensive to produce because the raw materials costs might be high. Business might have to charge premium price. It might put off some customers. So this time you have to write the disadvantage of high quality. Then it's your 6 marker. Discuss the impact on a small business from the introduction of new employment laws. So 6 markers could be treated as 2-3 markers, or you give 6 to 7 linked sentences. So it's asking for the impact. So you can write a positive or a negative, or 2 positives or 2 negatives, whatever you want to write. Legislation may increase the cost of training employees to comply with the laws. Cost of travel, accommodation of employees, increase cost, decrease profitability. Legislation may increase cost of wages and salaries of a business. Increase in national minimum wage and national living wage increases costs for the business. They might have to reduce the number of employees if they find it difficult to afford the increase in salaries. So that's next is your section B. Section B and C are case study based. You have to read this case study properly, and all your answers following this in section B should be based on this business. So this business is about Sports Tours Limited. So just be mindful that you use this business scenario in your answers. So outline one way that Sports Tours Limited meets customer needs. So you have to pick something from the case study. They ensure the tours are high quality. It carries out full risk assessments for all tours. So this is something picked up from the case study. So be careful that you answer your section B and C questions for the case study. Then it's a 6 marker. Analyze the impact of the internet on the location of Sports Tours Limited premises. So Sports Tours does not require an expensive retail outlet, as majority of communications with sports teams can be done online. So fixed costs will be reduced, as there will be no need to pay expensive high street rents. This will lower the number of tours required to break even. Then your second point could be no need for modern office facilities to impress visiting customers, as majority of the sports team will not be local to sports tours, hence will not be able to visit the premises in person. So something which is about this business, 2 points, that will help you to score 6 marks. Then you have a numerical. So it's asking, it has given exchange rates, and it's asking for have been organizing football tours to Munich since 2010. The price of hotel room in Munich in 2010 was £100, and the conversion rate is given. So it's asking for what's the price in pounds. So £1 is 1.23 in 2010. So you just put the values. So it's basically division. 100 divided by 1.23, you get 81.30. So I normally do what we have to calculate. For example, in this case pounds, I put it on the right hand side, and then if it's €1 is 1 divided by 1.23 times 100. And then it says in 2019 it increases to 130. So now you have to pick up these values. So you have to take this conversion rate. Okay. Analyze the impact on Sports Tour Limited of using market mapping. So market mapping is basically to spot the gaps in the market where tours can be offered to groups of customers that are interested in different sports such as football, netball and hockey. This allows business to reach a wider range of customers because it is not specializing in just one sport, as wide range of team sports are played in UK. Market mapping may identify a gap that exists because there is not enough demand in this sport or type of tour. This could lead to Sports Tours Limited targeting a market that does not exist. There might be some minority sports where they will not. So you see, I couldn't finish in the space given, so I have written continued on page 24. This is what you are supposed to do. So if you can't finish the space given, just mention where your remaining answer is. And even for the remaining answer, you basically write which question it is. So it might be enough teams to organize the fixtures. If Sports Tours Limited targets these markets, then it may lead to business failure. Okay, so this is how you continue. And if you want to change your answer, so just put a cross and you can answer here and just write the answer number. State one fixed cost. Sports tours will need to pay fixed costs which do not change with output. So salaries of tour operators, so you have to apply. So if you just write salaries, that's not correct. You have to write salaries of the tour operators, insurance to cover cancellation of tours, advertising of tours to sports teams. So do mention what it's for. So that means you are applying to the case study. Outline one likely impact of changing levels of consumer income of Sports Tours Limited. If there is a decrease in consumer income, teams are more likely to stay in the UK rather than go abroad. It leads to less demand for Sports Tours Limited, as teams may be confident in organizing this themselves rather than using the tour operator. So then it's a 9-marker. 9-marker, basically you'll be given 2 options and you have to choose one of the option. So best way to score high marks is just go with one option. So because the thing is, you need to have application and you need to have analysis and evaluation. So if you're using both the options, you have to give positive negatives of both the options. It's too much to write, so best is do one option and write positives, negatives of that option and a conclusion. So this is asking for, in order to add value to its business activities, Sports Tours Limited is considering 2 options. First one is using a professional sports venues for tournaments. Another one is providing teams with top class coaching when on tour. So you can choose any option. None of them is right or wrong. Whichever you can write most about, choose that option. So I think option 1 will help Sports Tour Limited to add value, because using professional sport venues for tournaments will give teams an experience they may not have had before. This will give sports tours a USP and more attractive for teams. It will be prepared to pay premium prices for playing at a professional stadium. This could be something that they cannot organize themselves. So give the counter argument. However, it may be difficult to arrange to use these facilities, and Sports Tours Limited may not be able to provide the facilities as promised. The higher price of doing this may not be attractive to teams, as changing consumer incomes has already affected the demand. So this is something picked from the case study. So you pick something from the case study for the given question that gives you application marks. Nevertheless, it depends on how much teams find this useful and ready to bear the extra costs. If done with careful planning, it will definitely give an edge to Sports Tours Limited over the competitors. So this is how you answer your 9-marker. So then section C, again it's a case study. Read the case study properly, and the following questions should be based on this case study. State one example of cash outflow for that filling. That's the barber. So rent for the barber shop, rent for the shop, stock for the hair products. So don't just write stock, do mention the stock as well. Cost of the vintage glasses frames. Next is, it shows the age of entrepreneurs starting a business in the UK since 2000. So read the case study. If you read, you'll find that it's here. So 10% is the answer. So this basically is to check if you're reading the case study properly. One benefit to employees at that feeling from being mentored by Justin: employees will feel more valued, therefore they will be happier in their jobs as barbers. So their efficiency will increase. Happy customers, you can add all that. Or employees will have more skills. Justin can pass his expertise on as the best way to cut the hair, again to make customers happy and satisfied. Then you'll have a 9-marker. This is the second 9-marker. Every paper has 2 9-markers. So this is the next 9-marker. In order to improve its brand awareness, that feeling is considering 2 options. increase its range of own branding clothing, open a second shop. So again, for a 9 marker, there are two options. You have to justify one. So best is to choose one, write positive and negative of that option, and that's how it's a easy way to score high marks. So this, we have chosen option 2. It might be better to improve the brand awareness of that feeling. Put the name of the business often, as the second barber shop will allow the business to move into another geographical area and offer its service to a new range of customers. This will increase brand awareness to a whole new range of potential customers. The first shop in Potter's Bar has many unique features that can be replicated in the second shop. The first shop has been very successful, so this indicates there is likely to be enough demand to open a second shop. However, a key factor in the success of the first shop is the high quality of the barbers and the mentoring Justin carries out with his employees. This might be difficult to replicate in a second shop, and the business may therefore lose its USP. Nevertheless, Justin can appoint someone trained by him to fill in his shoes and expand into another geographical area, thereby increasing his brand awareness. However, it might increase the cost but will be profitable in the long run. So for section B and C, apply to the case study, answer for the given case study. So next is your 12 marker. Evaluate the importance of achieving non-financial objectives for the success of that feeling. You should use the information provided as well as your knowledge. So basically the question is non-financial objectives and you have to evaluate. That means you have to analyze and you have to give the counter argument. So the non-financial aims of a business, including independence and personal satisfaction, are important as they often drive the desire of an entrepreneur to start a business. So this is about knowledge, that you are showing that you understand what non-financial aims are. However, it is important for a business to set financial aims and objectives such as profit and market share, as without these, the business will struggle to survive. So in knowledge, you have given your information on non-financial aims and objectives and financial as well. But the question is mainly on non-financial. So the non-financial aims of that feeling, from Justin's belief that it is important to be passionate. So this is what is picked from the case study. And always do the best you can. That feeling of a range of products such as clothing and vintage glass frames, which does indicate that it is aiming to increase the amount of revenue made by the business. Justin focus on being the best and mentoring others to share in his belief will have a positive effect on the quality of the service that is offered. Customers will recognize this and want to go to the business to get a haircut from the best barbers. Therefore, the financial aims of the business will be taken care of, focusing on the non-financial objectives. However, the success of that feeling will depend on how many customers go to get their haircut. So this is about the number of sales or buy its clothing. No matter how passionate Justin is, if customers think that they are paying too much or do not like the clothes, then they will stop using the business. The survival of the business is more likely to be linked to business finances, so this should be the main focus. Nevertheless, non-financial aims might play a major role in starting a business and get over tough times, that is resilience. However, to be able to pay the bills, financial aims might be important. So you have given the summary, you have given your judgment, you have given the counter argument, you have shown the knowledge, and you have applied for the business, for Justin's business. So that's how you answer your 12 marker. So this was your whole paper. I hope it's clear.